30 days ago, I made a decision that would change everything. I decided to stop running. I decided to face my shadow. Not in theory, not in books, but for real, every day. For 30 days, I plunged deep into the hidden parts of my mind, the parts most people spend a lifetime avoiding. This is what happened. The first few days, it was denial. I sat with my journal, trying to write my truths, but instead I wrote lies. I minimized. I excused. I distracted myself. Jung said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. I was living proof of that. But by day 5, the cracks started showing. Around day 6, something broke open. I wasn't just journaling anymore. I was bleeding. Anger I'd swallowed for years. Shame I'd buried so deep I forgot it was there. Fear, not of the world, but of my own desires. Jung said the shadow holds what we fear the most, and he was right. Shadow work isn't gentle. It rips you open. But here's the thing. The pain you avoid never disappears. It just waits for you in the dark. By day 11, the real confrontation began. I started to see patterns, how every toxic relationship mirrored my fear of abandonment, how every failure wasn't random, but a desperate attempt to avoid responsibility. Jung taught that the shadow doesn't hide just darkness, it hides potential. Facing it meant admitting. I wasn't just a victim of life. I was often my own jailer. Around day 21, it got worse before it got better. Rage erupted, not at others, but at myself. Grief came next, for the years lost pretending to be someone I wasn't. They call it the dark night of the soul for a reason. It's the moment when your old self dies, and all you're left with is silence, painful, honest, real. Day 26, something changed. Not a dramatic explosion. Not fireworks, but a quiet, unshakable knowing. I wasn't fighting myself anymore. I was finally listening. And in the silence, I found strength I didn't know I had. The same parts I hated were the parts I needed to become whole. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Shadow work didn't make me perfect. It made me real. And I realized the parts of you that you reject the most are the very keys to your freedom. So ask yourself, what are you still running from? And are you ready to stop?